It's another blind review and also non-stop review for GenG versus T1 Game 1. So for comp-wise, what we're seeing is like a typical answer I've been seeing a lot more often into Gwen, is you pick Jax, but also Sejuani. Jax just into Gwen is like, it's okay, but this pairing especially is what makes it overbearing. Because usually she needs to go Mercs to kind of deal with the CC, especially like when they're both on top of her. And there's a lot of threat. Obviously, they have a power pick in Talia, and then they have a Lucian Braum. This is not bad. This is a pretty damn solid comp in the end of the day, you know? They have a Jarvan, and he's got to do wonders. Because, honestly, it's not really the greatest Jarvan game by any means. Like, the only person you can really pick is Talia when he's actually looking for, like, options. But they have a Braum who's going to be in place. So, yeah, they got to do a lot of work in the early game with these two picks. Like, if they can get this shit rolling, especially also with support like being like involved, so they're definitely going to be a mid jungle support like trio that have to take over the map. If they don't, it's not going to look good. Of course, if the Gwen does like somehow get ahead or whatever the case is, amazing. And they both should be pathing towards top in the end of the day. Like, there's not a lot of like need to go into bot lane, and ensuring that your Gwen who has Ignite doesn't die, yeah, that'll be important. So let's get into it. Let's hit this into 2 times. And let's roll.
Been seeing a lot of opportunity show up from the timings of these smite steals, teleport plays, all sorts of clever gambits from the supports this time. I mean, we saw it even just in the series yesterday. Keria,
so he wards his blue in case, because Owner at one point did a red, I think it was his red buff, but maybe it was like his blue buff into enemy red, and that was like a cheese. So he just warded just in case of a cheese. They're both pathing towards top. Chovy, like we'll see if Chovy's Talia will either extend on the map or will he just kind of get early push and then base for tier. Because that's like a very common thing I see. It's like Talia is just pushing early, take a base, TP back, and you get a tier. These guys are absolutely shitting on Guma. Wow.
And Duro hasn't even used his heal. Like, you see how much lower Guma is on health. That's with Keria spending his heal. Guma does have Biscuit, so he'll have the additional Biscuit to pop there to try to regen some health, with the early trading going so
nice
towards Ruler and Duro. And this matchup can be quite tough for Gwen.
Hey, Keen has a very solid lead top. I don't think it should. I don't think it's supposed to turn out that way. Like, I don't think he should be down that much, and down so much HP too. Like, he's gonna have to use both pots. Yeah, Doran is not playing this well at all. Oh god. And yeah, Jarvan can't stay top because like Keen like just completely won out the 1v1. And that was before Seju's even involved, so that's pretty bad. Bot lane ends up going down 2. They hold the wave, and they're gonna wait for the next wave to crash, and they'll finish that out. Sejuani's a little ahead because she didn't have to worry about going all the way into bot to get the crab.
The first kill, the first big fight didn't really happen until the Void Grubs had spawned, and I wouldn't be super surprised to see a similar state here in the finals.
Especially game 1, every player gonna be locked in, super focused. You gotta get used to
nice little trade by Chovy.
While these players have so much experience, there's still that degree of time required as Doran takes an unfavorable trade, but he's chasing Keen down.
Yeah, Keen ignited here. Doran just gonna make sure.
So he lost Ignite, didn't get the flash, still has a Biscuit, kinda still fucked, and Duro actually holds the bot wave for Ruler to get the base. Oh, and he got his flash. Holy shit. Keen is basing. So he held the freeze, so he knew his conditions were half HP, and so he's actually letting it keep there so he can get full conditions to fight again. Sejuani is going to be on this wave unless Gwen one-tapped it. Okay, good. That was pivotal. I mean, like, if he held the wave, like, holy shit, good luck. And it looks like he's still going to freeze it because Seju's going to pad down to again restart her clear, and he's also going to hit level 6 first, as you can tell, and so that's why he's trading so hard. Now Gwen's 1 HP, no TP, and he's taking the drag, while Jarvan is now kind of like messing around topside a little bit still, to make sure he doesn't get dough, because there was a chance that, like, yeah, he could get dough because of the trades, so he had to be present.
GenG They are leveraging the strength of
rough. Man, it's Keen's world, I guess. Holy shit. This guy's owning them. They can swap. Yeah. They definitely can swap here. For T1, they end up dropping to do the swap for GenG. Like, it was just perfectly aligned. They got 2 crashes, they got bigger buys. The Gwen needs to kind of burn this wave to get it in so it resets. If she can't and Jax holds it, while Jarvan's pathing up with the Seju pathing up, it's gonna be really bad for Gwen. Like, if you look at the items, it's just... it's rough. But we're gonna see what the Jax does, because it looks like he's not gonna try to fight to hold the wave.
GenG trying to make sure around here for maybe it's Mike carry the hex flash of the ball, tries to go in for a little bit, but unbreakable will already required. GenG backing away for a moment. If Alistar's ulti falls, it's very difficult for him to continue participating in the fight. Jovi and Faker off to the side as GenG will move in. They will take control of
GenG decides not to, because they're like, GenG decides to not full commit into the situation. Very close. The Jax is gonna TP back. So Doran ends up getting 1 over Jax. But because they actually already started swapping ahead of time, it fits them like perfectly fine in the end of the day. Like, the Jax is now up on building the top wave, and the Jarvan has to go back bot. So now, like, of course, the Gwen should just not do anything. The Gwen should just receive the wave, and that's it. But she's gonna drop a little bit while doing it. Chovy has the base. And he got rid of the ward, which is really annoying that he got rid of the ward, actually. Canyon. And there's been no plays on mid. They have done absolutely nothing to get, like, mid involved enough. And that's a problem. That's a pretty big problem for
a very slow opening 11 minutes of
game
T1.
number
1 here in the finals. Remember, game number 3 in the upper bracket finals, we had to wait more than 20 minutes.
Now they're actually doing a little bit around it.
The slower game state often favors GenG.
But yeah, I mean,
T1 seems to be more in their element. But when GenG can slow the game down, they seem to be very comfortable.
And the slower the game,
I mean, Alistair's just showing on mid perma. Like, this is not really gonna do anything. The Gwen is trying to wait for her Ignite to come back up, and then she can kind of initiate again and try to kill this guy, or at least, like, get him low. Once the Jax gets Triforce, is going to be, like, awful. I'm surprised he actually base TP'd. Despite his conditions being, like, fine, I'm surprised that he didn't just try to, like, leverage this a little bit more. Because now as the Jax, you're kind of like, well, my TP's going to come up before yours, so I'm probably just going to sit on this until I get Triforce, and then I'm just going to try to kill you. They're going through bot. I mean, it's good damage by Guma. They know that if they get comboed and they die, like, this would be... Yeah, personally, I feel like if I'm GenG, like, if I want to have, like, if I want Seju to kind of just risk it all to get the drag, so be it, but we are not risking more than one person. Because look, it's very obvious once this shit happens that, like, yeah, they're looking to combo. Like, T1 is doing a really good job of, like, sitting on their spells, and they're just like, do it. Go, try it. And we'll pounce. It's literally just like a cat, like, you know, like, just ready to go. And they got it. So good for T1. I mean, like, those kills are really important. Of course, Doran is still getting shit on, but, like, and as you can tell, yeah, he literally base TP for Triforce. Yes, like, she has Riftmaker, but the Triforce is much stronger. Like, a much stronger buy compared to Riftmaker. Like, he got a lot, because he didn't even have Sheen going into any of his trades. The Sheen adds, like, an extra 100 plus damage per, like, a proc, like a W. So that's a big deal. that's a pretty big deal. It looks like they're gonna trade out the Herald, and they're saying fuck doing the Herald. Let's progress and start hitting bot. Maybe they take this. Ooh, we're TPing? Oh, that's... okay, it's the Braum just TP'd randomly. That's interesting. I mean, like, the main issue that people will typically have with this kind of play that GenG committed was that when you... Oh, nice fucking R. Well played. The problem is, and that was a really nice just like punish because they knew Ori TP to bot, so they actually have a timer to do their own crossplay, and now they need to get bot, right? Jack's bases, and he's the one who's gonna go collect it. So they're always shifting the parts away, or shifting the parts forward, right? Like, just reacting to what's happening. But that Herald thing, so Seju hitting bot, one, Talia and Seju are like not the greatest turret takers, so like it's slow. Two, once the enemy does get Herald, like yeah, like you have to kind of match it, or else they can just take a bunch of turrets. Like that's just how it's been since the dawn of time of Herald being existing. And unfortunately for them, you know, I mean they lost both mid turrets, and that's really good for T1's game plan, because like their game plan is essentially just initiating, throwing Jin, like Jin R, and going. And so like they don't really have anywhere to run. Okay, so Talia's fucked, and she got shoved out, which gave space to T1 to enter, and I mean that was it. Like literally, like the second that Gwen had that positioning with the ward to go onto Talia, it's like it's already screwed. He lived. They really want it. Oh, that was dangerous. But Doran's actually hitting the entire time. Doran doesn't even have TP. Like, look at this. Like, actually, I'm kind of surprised that T1 actually tempted this a little bit. Because, yeah, maybe they could get the pick. But, like, look at this situation. Like, the wall doesn't do much. Like, the idea was, like, to kind of, like, go for it. And, like, it's like, you look at Keen. Like, Keen's, like, trying to zone these two guys. But because Talia got shoved out, it was already kind of due. So they don't have flashes on Talia, which makes her very exposed. They're trying to force the Otacon because of that TP, but they're also playing with no resist. Like, they're fucked. Oh my god, they ended up playing it so well though. Holy shit. Because they're eating, like, they have all the Otacon resistant shreds, right? And that's, like, very scary. Especially seeing how much damage they were taking going into it. And so I understand that Owner was, like, feeling it. You know, like, Owner really wanted to, like, ship it. Because look at this, like, this looks pretty bad. The Jax gets stalled. The Talia wall is pretty good. He probably could play it just a little bit slower. I mean, that's really all it is in the end. I mean, Keen was, like, kind of behind them, too. And then they overchased. Yeah, I mean, GenG ended up overchasing, but them picking up 2 kills on the back of that, it was... Yeah, that was pretty amazing. And the Dragon's already coming up, so the most important thing is to check who has no flash. So Ori has no flash, Jin has no flash, Lucian has no flash, but that doesn't matter. Jax has no flash. So the Orianna is going to be exposed in the fight, and Jarvan, his timer is going to be really tight. I don't think they're going to find it. And the Jin has cleanse, so you can't really Seju R fish on that guy. But the Ori's going to have to be pretty careful. But seeing as how they weren't able to get the wave in precisely, it looks like her flash is going to be back up, which is really good for them. And I like that they're just holding the line. I mean, like, if you look at their comp, like, they don't have the best face checks. I mean, they could do Talia Q, whatever the case is, but the second you do that, like, you're in range of their initiation, so... They're just late. I mean, like, they're just too late to get into this play, and that's Baron too. Baron spawns exactly on this timer.
It's an overforce from Keen. Rula and Dura were nowhere near that fight, and T1 poised, calm, collected, punished GenG, shut them down.
That's rough for GenG. And you know, one thing I'm gonna state here that I'm like, if I were to rewatch this game, or if I was to like rewind and look through different situations, one of the things I would say is that Canyon has to go through the Jax side more. Like, there's a strong lack of actually playing through the Jax that was ahead and actually getting him to like just be a complete monster, because he's not a complete monster. Like the Gwen is actually matching into him perfectly fine. And yeah, she did go Mercs, like she has to go Mercs. And it's getting to the point where like when she gets enough AP, like she's kind of just she's gonna be pretty close to killing one person, even in a 1v2.
Yeah, Keen doing a good job making sure they can at least get something back in even trade versus Despairin. They don't want to fight T1 5v5 while they're powered up, so instead it's just a handshake on tier 2s.
And critical to know, Faker obviously 5 kills, incredibly strong. You wouldn't want to make him a target, but he has the early Seekers purchased up after that last fight, and now grabs the Mage Eyes there. Faker feeling incredibly confident in this game number 1. Always a risky purchase, but if you stay deathless,
there's also been a very strong lack of initiating first as GenG in some of these situations as well. But that makes sense because, like, I mean, in the end, they're playing Braum with Jack's flank, Talia flank, or Jack's flank with the Talia wall. So I get why it's kind of like that. But, like, they just didn't really get Jinx cleanse much. I mean, these guys kind of just, like, walked into this. They were able to eat it. Their main hope out of this situation is hopefully nobody... Oh, wow. They actually got a pick. I was gonna say, like, even no one dying is fine as long as you get them low and you stop the Baron and they can't advance, that's great. But the fact someone died is crazy. I mean, like, Faker literally gets hit by a goddamn Talia W. Which is so stupid. And then after this, it's kind of over. But Owner, like, I think he ultied in because he was about to get hit by Talia W. And they just burned a ton of shit just to do that. Now they don't really have their same, like, combos up yet. And this is the perfect time for them to just kind of start it. I mean, it looks like it is. They are going to actually get their ultis back. But they do have first control, GenG, which makes this a lot more even of a start. The drag pulled very far, man. That's interesting. But King gave up his flank so he could move the other way, which... I mean, I don't really get what King did here. Personally, I feel like the way Keen played this was not good at all. Yeah, Keen did not play that right. And that's unfortunate because the situation was actually good for them. I mean, like, just watch how this goes. Like, so he could have been below them the entire time. And he can't even push it to the spot because they have the ping. So he kind of screwed this up big time. He needed to stay south of them on the left side, pulling the dragon to the right. And then when he moves up, these guys needed to give attention to him. Like, they actually have to look on it. And then Keen has to play that line. And that's it. But by going through the other way, he can't just run into the pink because it's like, he doesn't know. Granted, he didn't have vision in the other brush either, but it's still a little bit safer to do overall. Honestly, I'm gonna... if T1 ends up winning this game, which it looks like they will, but we'll see. I mean, like, they are one dragon away. I mean, all it takes is one dragon, and GenG could just be in a winning position. But currently, I gotta say, like, yeah, GenG just did not play with their advantage that well, with the Jack's advantage, which is unfortunate for them. Chovy loses his flash. These guys are just running them down on the south side the entire time. No calling now, so the Lucian's like back to being useless. And it's over. They're gonna have to full send it, which obviously always leads to mistakes. Huh. I mean, for my quick play watch MVP, this is a tough one. Because watching this game, I didn't feel like the Alistar was like a defining person, per se. Obviously, Faker ended up doing very well. Guma ended up doing pretty damn well as well. Part of me almost wants to give it to Owner, because in the end of the day, a lot of the pulls and situations have to wait on him, but there were some moments where Faker was just getting his own plays off as well. And the same thing can be like these three really were on top of things. I mean, I won't lie, Doran also ate the matchup. Even though he got behind, he ended up doing a good job of recovering it. At the end of the day, it probably is Faker. The worst player, dude, I really can't believe I'm going to put the... Well, it really depends on how I want to do this one, because it's between Keen and Canyon. Because, like, in the end of the day, like, it was on these guys to really win the game. Like, it was on these guys to win the game. And they didn't do it. And Doran escaped that situation. And even though Ruler Duro had a pretty solid early lead, too. I mean, their swaps were pretty good. It still didn't amount to anything. And looking at the game...
The Ocean Drake goes over to GenG!
I mean, like, this situation, like I said, this one was just kind of...
Ready to challenge. GenG still trying to maintain control here. Gumayushi off to the side.
Damn, I'm not gonna lie. It really, like, it probably would be between Guma and Faker in the end. Because, like, shit, they really did play pretty good. Because, like, Guma deciding to flank the way he did, like, it just makes it so bad. And, like I said, GenG has to know that, like, when they're pulling this, one, Chovy missed his flip, right? Like, he missed the flip. But even if he flipped this guy, it's not even, like, that great. Like, honestly, just queuing him and Braum queuing and then running away is good enough. Because if he flips this guy forward and he uses Alistar ulti and then he goes into Chovy, Chovy's in a shit spot. And he has to flash away. You know?
Position off to the side.
And he's gonna eat shit from Jin, which he does anyway still. And like T1 could have tried to retake the drag, but like, you know what? Just keep tanking it. Keep tanking it. And now it's like, it's very clear that if you go in here, like, that's it. Like, the best hope is like, you're gonna Sejuar, and then you're gonna walk up and you're gonna try to take it. But Chovy's already like leaving the area. Like, he wants the Talia wall. So, like, your best bet at this point to me is that if you know that the Jin is south, is like to the right of you, and they have no vision, by the way. So, Braum probably needs to stand here the entire time, just to make sure, like, is the Jin going around or not?
GenG still trying to maintain
And
control
what Guma should do, I mean, ideally Guma would have like walked around, but he can't because like Braum.
Maintain control here. Gumayushi off to the side can open up.
Once he does this, and the dragon's not low enough, the way they have to do this, he needs to keep walking to Leah wall, and they go. And now you have a 4v3. This is the way they have to play it. The way they played it is they Talia walled, which did nothing, and then he's over here, right? I think he's over here, or did he actually get off? Or did he actually walk around? Yeah, he still walks around. So actually, it's a 3v2-1-1. Like, and this guy technically, it's like kind of like an add-on, so it's like almost like a 3.5 v2, and that's awful. Like, I don't know how GenG got to this situation, but like they need to realize like, oh shit, like we can, if the Jin is isolated, we can turn this into a 4v3 and go forward. We have flashes. I mean, like if we need to flash an Ori ulti, so be it. But like they could actually go and win the fight. I mean, they literally have Braum ulti. Braum ulti, Lucian ulti, like they're good to go. And they didn't do it. And that was awful. And then we have the Herald situation where it's like, I just, because like when I was watching this, I was trying to think like, how the hell are they not contesting this, by the way?
Very strongly here by
because
T1.
This next wave is what matters, right? So Seju could be moving into this. He finishes the Wolves, she could be moving to this. They know that Ori has first move. Okay, fine, Ori has first move, whatever. But like, Canyon's already giving up on the idea of fighting this. But your Jax has Triforce. I mean, the only reason why they wouldn't fight this, by the way, is if they feel like the flash difference is too much. Which I can understand. It's just this play. If they're ever gonna think that we can't fight this, then what you have to do is you need to send Talia top, and that's how this works to me. Because if Jax is the one who's pushing bot and you're cross mapping, you'll take the turret way faster because he has Triforce. He has TP in case something happens, and your Talia just lanes here, and that's how you fix this play. Jax needs to go bot. Because Seju and Talia hitting is so slow. Like, they already would have taken the turret. The Seju already walked mid in case they threw Herald. Maybe you lose mid turret. I don't know. But, like, the Talia can also walk over to protect. The way they did it is, like, the Seju walks down here
Exactly. From all these,
and
just gonna try to
hits
rush
the
this down as
turret,
they
and it's like,
know. So T1
what is
with
that
the
gonna do?
timing-
Test.
And at the same
Test
time, the
now
Braum is
T1
going
have
top,
reclaimed it. They're
which,
the one to start off the objective.
I mean,
GenG will know that
he just needs vision,
Topside.
right? And he has no wards.
But that very slight goal
Like,
to prevent the
they just need to
demolish
identify we're
onto
not
the
fighting
turret.
this. Braum bases, he gets wards. Doesn't have wards, so he needs to be a human ward.
Still a few
And so
seconds.
he's anticipating
So
maybe a
T1
top play
with the
happens,
timing,
right?
with the
But they have a
control,
ward on
will seize
the
neutral
dot.
objective.
So they
But
know that,
notice
like, okay,
GenG
well,
is pushing
nothing's
on
happening
this
there.
bottom
They
side.
can't
They're
read
looking
the
for power
situation because they have no
there. And they're just
wards.
gonna try to rush this
And
down
Duro
because
not
they know
basing
if
and getting
Herald's
it
they'll likely lose in
means
power
they
their
can't
own,
read
but
the
they
mid
don't
play.
have
And they were taking a base. So this ends up horrible for them. And again, this was just like a very bad situation.
to be getting
And then we advance further.
Have the dragon down to half HP.
They get this one,
yeah, T1
Really?
get the dragon and they're
which was not bad.
But there's no damage.
for potential. It does cost Carry his flash, but it's a great smite there from
And then they take this fight when Gwen is moving up without TP. And it was interesting, but it's like, maybe they could have killed him, but also they would have eaten so much damage this entire time. And I understand why Ruler's like kind of backing away from this guy, but personally, nah, I mean, Ruler didn't really do anything different. What he did was fine. Technically, if Duro actually kept walking around, holy shit, that could have been a lot worse too. I mean, Duro could have walked around and actually gotten something of value, but kind of just joins the team and doesn't do much. And this Otacon, I feel like there should have been more winning for T1. Because they're so low. He interrupts this guy, and so they have to burn it, right? And it's like they're trying to use everything to get out of this situation. And at this point, they know that Jax is above them. So all they have to do is chase. I guess all they have to do in the end is chase these guys out this way and then play for him. And he'll probably get his flash. And then we can go back mid first. And that's kind of it, I guess. Because it is really hard to, like, maybe if... Because the only way I can see this being changed is if Jin is over the wall, which he's not. The Taliyah wall ends up being really good. The Gwen could also jump over and actually have a position that's a little bit more interesting in between the turrets. That would surprise them. And Doran tries to go all in. But of course, naturally, like, Keen is able to, like, it was smart what Keen did this time. Like, this was so much better. Because he's just, like, on top of these guys. But I don't think he needed the flash. I think he could have just kept walking still, and that would have been enough. Yeah, he just can't one-shot that guy. So he kind of just lost his flash. And that's it. Like, as long as they didn't, like, keep moving this way, it would have been fine, but then, of course, they died. But yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, for how this game was, like, this is like what nailed it, right? Like, this is like kind of what finished it out. They just don't have people, man. I mean, like, he's literally jumping in. I don't know, like, we're literally jumping in, like nobody's around. You can just die. Like, that kind of sealed the deal. And so, yeah, for sure, Canyon team, like, are the most responsible members for, like, ruining this game. For T1, yeah, Guma and Faker did have a good game, a really good game. Owner was fine. Doran did what he could. And all in all, I gotta say, it was just... It was a... unfortunate loss of lead. To say the least. And so we'll just try to see more.